How you doing, everybody? This is Jonathan from Brookdale Fun and Fitness, and I wanted to give you the 5 keys to a good weight loss plan. Now, key number 1, that's going to be the number of calories that you take in. Alright, so if you want a crude way of figuring out the number of calories you should be taking in each day, take your weight, multiply it by 11, and that's the number of calories that you need to be taking in to maintain your body weight. What you're going to do is you're going to create a caloric deficit. Alright, you're going to undershoot that number by 250. Alright, so one thing that you want to know is that 1 pound of fat equals 3,500 calories. So if you're creating a caloric deficit of 250 calories per day, just by your nutrition alone, you should be losing a half a pound a week. If you can burn an additional 250 calories per day, then you're on pace to be burning a pound of fat a week. Alright, if you find that that number isn't correlating well, or you're not losing that pound of fat, you can either increase the caloric deficit to 300, or you can increase your activity level. Just make sure that your total intake of calories doesn't go below 1,200. I actually believe that that's even a little bit low by itself. But make sure to stay above 1,200 for your weight loss goals. Now, the second thing that you want to be mindful of is your breakdown of carbs, proteins, and fats. Alright, so if you want to go with the most basic breakdown, you want 50% of your calories to come from carbohydrates, 35% to come from protein, 15% to come from fat. Alright, and as you progress, depending on your goal, you may find that the carbs need to go up, and the fat may need to go down, or the protein may need to go down, depending on your goal. But to start off, that's a very safe ratio: 50% carbs, 35% protein, 15% fat. Now, number 3 is going to be your quality of calories. Now, that's probably the most important part, because in terms of your 50% carbs, you can get all your carbs from a whole loaf of white bread, and then a bagel, and then maybe some cookies to top it off. However, you want carbs that are going to be higher in fiber, and they're going to take longer to burn. So you're going to be looking for your long grain brown rice. You're going to be looking for your yams, your sweet potatoes. You're going to be looking for, if you're going to have pasta, whole wheat pasta. And quinoa. If you don't know about quinoa, quinoa is high in amino acids, almost making it a complete protein. So Google that. Quinoa is Q-U-I-N-O-A, spelled quinoa. Alright, that's definitely a good carb to have into your diet. In terms of protein, you want to go with your leaner proteins. You want to go with your white meat chicken without the skin. You want to go with your fish. If you're going to have beef, do it sparingly, alright? But if you have to have it, you want to go with your vegetarian-fed beef. I'd actually recommend that all your protein would be organic, just because when they're fed hormones, it tends to take away from the nutritional value of the foods you're taking in, regardless of if it's chicken or not. Alright, and in terms of the fat, you want quality fats. You want to stay away from your trans fats, from your saturated fats that are very hard to break down for the body. Polyunsaturated fat and monounsaturated fats are the fats that you're really looking for, and you want to get your fats from your fish, from your fish oil if you don't like fish, from the yolk of the eggs, especially if they're cage-free, farm-fresh eggs. Then you don't have to worry about the cholesterol of the yolk. You know, you're not going to have 10 eggs a day, but don't be so fearful of it. I actually wonder why people fear the yolk so much, but they don't fear cookies. Now, I digress. So quality of calories is going to be very important. How you put those foods in is going to be as important as how much you put in. So the next 2 tips for a plan, you're going to have foods that you like. Alright, I could very easily say eat broccoli, 5 times a day, but if you don't like broccoli, you're really just not going to do it. So make sure that you have foods that you like in your meal plan, because you're going to have to do this over an extended period of time. So if you don't like what you're eating, find foods that are going to be good for you. Get cookbooks that are going to teach you how to cook these foods in a healthy way, so you can get the right foods in, and then you can stay on it without feeling like you're on a diet and suffering through it. And last but not least is the time that you eat. Alright, you have to understand your schedule. Some people have a 9 to 5, some people have a 3 to 11, some people have a 10 to 6. Alright, but you want to be getting in your foods consistently throughout the day. I'm not going to say it has to be 5 or it has to be 6, but you definitely want to be eating. Try to go for 4 or more meals a day. Some people start off having 1 meal a day, so even getting to 3 will be a big jump for them. So take into account where you're starting from. Try to add 2 meals to your day with a max of 6. So if you're used to having 1 meal a day, try for 3 and then work your way up later. If you're used to having 2 meals a day, try for 4 and then work your way up later if necessary. That's really it. If you can get a handle on those 5 things, you're going to find that your meal plan is going to be a lot easier to follow. The only thing is you have to be consistent with it. If you fall off, you go to a birthday party and then you drink like crazy and then you have all the cake, you don't try to make up for it on the next day. You really just have to get right back on and then continue consistently. If you can get 3 weeks straight, you're going to be very surprised at your results. So this is Jonathan, just encouraging you to stay active. If you live in the Nutley area, in Nutley, New Jersey, definitely recommend that you try out the Brookdale Boot Camp. Click on the link below. It'll give you more information, more videos that I've done on how to stay in shape, how to lose weight quickly, and how to put together a proper meal plan. So as always, I'm signing off. And don't forget to always put your health first.